In the shadow of the eponymous mountain lies the wasteland referred to as... It is home to the Orcish tribe called the Firewielders, as well as to many unforgettable for this very reason. The Firewielders cherish their homeland's perils. According to Orcish culture, only through constant conflict and danger can a people...
Interesting.
Few people know that there is a reason for Barga Gor's lifelessness. As though covered...
Wait a moment.
What is it?
The strange human I've been telling you about. The one with the powerful aura. I think he is here, along with something else.
Something else?
Yes. Let's be careful.
Yes?
Now would you look at that?
Blasted armor.
Will do.
All right.
Let's see.
Good move.
Sure. That way?
Czarit guides me.
You got it. Get ready!
Interesting. Now would you look at that?
Ellen's reins. These goblins were mutilated. What creature would do such a thing?
Well, Barga Gora isn't the most hospitable place on Io. So the answer is... Mini.
Did you hear that?
Yes. And I'm not sure I like it.
Sounds like a plan.
Shit! What in blazes are you doing here? Get out!
Kill that thing! Now!
Shit. Shit! What did you do?
Save your life?
Oh, really? Well, thanks for nothing, sir, hero. I invoked that demon. The Devourer.
You? Why?
To share a shrub of fucking grapes with her. To fight her, damn it! What did you think?
Her?
Yeah. I know that thing doesn't look like your average sailor man's fantasy. But according to the Encyclopedia Sinistra, Devourers only ever possess women. Thus the pronoun.
You summoned a demon to fight it?
Well, for that magic you carry in you, you certainly know shit about demonology. You're not a scholar, I take it?
I was a battle mage. Royal Army.
Figures. To learn how to control the demon race, you first need to fight it. Tame it, as we say. And guess what? That's just what I was trying to do until you popped in and nullified the fucking ritual.
We found a bunch of mutilated goblins further up the cave. Did the Devourer do this?
Yeah. I had some difficulties while casting the ritual, let's put it that way. A demon doesn't always show up where you want to conjure him. Sometimes when they sense something else near the gate, they simply materialize right there. In her case, it was the goblins.
That was foolish. She might have left the cave and gone rampant in the cows.
Well, she didn't, did she? And even if that would have been the case, you orcs know how to handle yourselves in battle.
That's interesting. Can you tell me more about the process of taming a demon?
What am I, your bloody teacher? Go read a book.
So, you just came to this cave in Barga Gora to battle a demon?
Why should I tell you?
You're the brooding type, aren't you?
No. I just don't get why 4 strangers who just fucking interrupted my ritual now think I'm gonna tell them all about my life. Don't you have, I don't know, somewhere to go?
We could use someone with your talents.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but I'm not a mercenary. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Can we...
Save your breath, Tahar. He's not worth it.
Wait, Tahar? As in... Shit. You're his son? The betrayer's child?
I am.
Huh. That's unexpected. What in blazes are you doing here? I mean, shouldn't you be up in Greykeep with all your royal friends?
I should, but things happened. You want to hear the story?
Yeah, I think I do. The Bloodburn. Huh. Am I the only one who finds it fucking ironic that the leader of the Purity of Light is trying to save mankind?
It's ironic. I agree.
And suspicious if you ask me. But who am I to judge? You know, I've always been somewhat fascinated by your father.
How so?
Well, his methods might have been questionable, but he was damn right about everything he said. He saw this whole shit show coming before anyone else did.
You mean the persecution of mages?
Yeah. It has never been a secret that the people fear what they don't know, is it? It was only a question of time until that fucking hatred would pop open like a blister full of pus. Your father, Isamo Tahar, saw that coming and tried to stop it from happening. He had the guts to do what other people were too afraid to do.
Well, his goal was right, but his methods were wrong.
Yeah, the war is never pretty. Anyway, your story is as intriguing as your father's, I'll give you that. And since I don't exactly have many obligations, I'll take you up on your offer. If it still stands.
Why the sudden change of mind?
I told you. I like the idea of working with Isamo Tahar's living heir. And also I'm curious about what there is to this blood burn.
Well then, welcome aboard.
Thanks. We can also talk once we reach that city of yours. Mullendeer, wasn't it? You said it's in Iskander?
Yes, but just wait at the border of Barga Gora. We'll join you once we've done what we came here to do.
Sounds great. Let me just clean up the mess here first.
Sure.
Odd man.
Yes?
Fine.
All right, why not?
Sure.
This way, right? Fine.
Is this really necessary? I'll keep you shielded.
Let's see. Now would you look at that? Got it.
That's the way?
Sure.
Sure.
Zared guides me.
Blasted armor.
Fine.
That's the way?
Understood.
That way?
In the shadow of the eponymous mountain lies the wasteland referred to as... It is home to the orcish tribe of the fire wielders, as well as to demons. While most travelers stay away from Barga Gora...
Huh? This way, right?
Good move. Sure.
Here we are again. This place still gives me the chills.
Well, at least we now have our new orcish friends to delight us with their company.
You don't seem happy about this.
I just don't like the idea of putting my fate into the hands of these savages. What happened there at Barga Gora was nothing short of a bloodbath.
Revolts tend to be bloody.
I know, but... never mind.
me.
Yes. What do we need?
So, this is it? Your fabled fortress?
You don't sound...
It'll do. All I need is a good forge. My ingenious mind will do the rest. Though these orcish smiths you've employed so far certainly don't deserve their title.
What do you mean?
Because they are amateurs, and that's putting it lightly. Just give me some coin for material and send them my way. Then I can teach them what a true orcish axe or armor should look like.
Will do. So long, Berg.
Yes, yes, of course. Goodbye! Yes, yes? Looking for some orcish craftsmanship?
Yes. Will do. Understood.
There you are again. Gore's new friend. I truly hope he knows what he's doing. Orcs following the orders of a pale skin. That hasn't happened before. But, to be fair, you've given me little reason to distrust you. You did great in that battle against Krell.
Thank you. So you're the commander of the Fire Wielders?
Chieftain. And I serve Gore, our High Chieftain, who follows your advice. In other words, I'm the third down the list. Mainly, I'm here to make sure our warriors stay in shape and are well equipped. And if you're willing to invest some coin, I might even come up with a way to permanently increase their strength.
Can you tell me more about the Fire Wielders? About your traditions?
Well, since Gore is now our High Chieftain, he's the one you should talk to. But I'll do my best.
The Mage Wars. How did they affect the Orcs?
Hardly. Some tribes, like the Fleshkins and the Ash Reavers, used the chance to invade your lands. as you've noticed in that Iskander village, Farland's Hope. Apart from that, we just stood out of it. Though, of course, we had our own sack of problems to deal with, such as idiots like Krell.
How did the Bloodburn affect the orcs?
It still does. For some reason, not as often as in human lands. But nonetheless, and when it hit, it did so with full force. There were 2 outbreaks among the Fire Wielders, and every time, the affected died within a couple of days. The Kayran clan was hit the hardest.
Interesting. I wonder why the races react so differently.
Well, I'm a warrior, not a shaman or an elder. You'll have to find out yourself.
There was something I wanted to ask about what happened in Barga Gora. You asked us to bring you the Kayran's champion's head because he did something to your sister. What exactly happened?
Sorry, Tahar, but that's none of your business.
I want to train the Fire Wielders.
All right. Here's what we can do.
I understand.
For decades, the Mohir elves, exiled from Finnanmere, have roamed Io in search of a new home. In Northander, they were promised lands of their own. But as the Mage Rebellion arose, they were quickly forgotten. Now, years later, They have taken shelter.
Interesting.
Understood.
Now would you look at that?
You're an adventurer, aren't you? Come, take a look. I'm sure I've got something that might spark your interest. Good choice.
Got it. Let's see.
Corporal? Need anything?
Goodbye.
Zalraka.
Gore, how are you and the Fire Wielders settling in?
All right, I guess. Though there've been some quarrels between my warriors and these Mohir elves. But don't worry, I took care of it. And that elven scryer promised to do the same. Nonetheless, Tahar, I have to say it. I don't like this place. Not at all.
Why not?
Well, I guess it's the people who once lived here. The Shapers. They were corrupted. And I can feel that corruption even now.
Corrupted?
Yeah. Their customs, their culture. They were completely detached from the order of nature.
How so?
Do you even need to ask? Just look around. Ghost warriors, strange machines, strange buildings. Especially this place, this nexus. They thought they were above everything, even the gods. And they meddled with things they didn't understand. It's disgusting.
Well, they're dead now.
Maybe. But I can still feel their presence. Anyway, nothing we can do about it. If the Shapers caused the blood burn, I understand why we need this place. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about? Huh?
What's it like to change form? I've been wondering about that since I met you.
I can imagine. It's exhilarating and strange at the same time. If it taught me one thing, then it's how foolish it is to put the mind above every other aspect of the body. Many people do that, especially scholars or mages.
What do you mean?
Because the shape of our flesh is so much more than just a shell. It defines us. When I take on the form of a wolf, for example, this wolf isn't just me with fangs and paws. It's a different version of myself.
A different version?
Yes. You can't understand if you haven't been there. But I guess you could say that when I'm taking on a creature's form, a part of my mind gets infused with that creature's essence. The thirst for the hunt, thinking as part of a pack, just to name the most obvious aspects. They meld with my mind. When I was young and first started shifting, the creature always dominated. It was like a feverish dream, and I had almost no control over my actions. With time, it got better.
Did you ever completely lose control when you were in another form?
In the beginning, yes. But the Elder always made sure I was in a controlled environment when I did my first transformations.
How does it feel to shift into a spider?
Strange. Being a mammal, a wolf or bear, it feels different, but still somehow familiar. A spider is something else entirely. The way you see, the way you perceive, the way you feel. The first time I shifted, I couldn't bear it for more than a minute, and it haunted me for weeks after that.
Yeah, I imagine. How do you learn a new form?
That's complicated. First you have to understand that creature, observe it, live with it if possible. That can take months, years, sometimes decades. Then there's what we shamans call the first joining. You have to visualize your shift.
How does that work?
I can't explain it. It's like your first bloodshed. It can't be explained, only experienced.
So in theory, could you transform into anything? Even, say, a wyvern? A dragon?
In theory, yes. In practice, there's no known shapeshifter who has ever done that. Save for old orcish legends, maybe.
Why not?
First off, there aren't many dragons around to study. And even if there were, you aren't likely to survive it. Secondly, transforming into something that enormous, it can be lethal. Our minds, our essence just isn't fit to govern such a massive body. Only some years ago, there was talk of an Ash Reaver shifter who had attempted to morph into a troll. He succeeded, but his heart, the troll's heart, stopped before he could take a single step. So you see why most shifters aren't that eager to experiment.
Wow, that's definitely interesting. Thanks for taking the time to explain.
Sure.
Back in Barga Gora, you told me that you think the orc should strive to be more. What do you mean by that? Do you consider your culture to be well, inferior?
Inferior? No, not at all. On the contrary, I'm glad to be a fire wielder, and not a human or an elf.
Why?
Because not so unlike the Shapers, your culture is bigoted, strange. You like to tell yourselves you're more than the animals you slaughter for food. You call yourselves civilized. But in the end, you look for the struggle just as anything and anyone else does. But of course you don't admit to it. You want to be better than that. And the result are lies, intrigue, wars, and assassinations. Your culture is so bizarre that it's almost amusing.
Well, you have a point.
I know. So no, I don't consider our culture to be inferior. But we've gone astray. Fools such as Krell was one. They're the reason your race looks down on us. If Zakrak had wanted us to be ever-fighting, ravaging brutes, he wouldn't have given us minds to begin with. Every brawl, every battle, every war has to have a purpose. It isn't something done for pleasure. Yes, it can be enjoyed. But at its core, it is ritual. The most basic one of nature.
In other words, violence and war are good and necessary, but only within measure?
Yes, and it should be learned from. That's where most orcs disagree. They claim to value wisdom, but when asked to choose between words and a club, they always choose the club. And as you see, this is why our culture has stagnated. In its current state, there will never be an orc empire, a great tribe, or the earth-shaking horde Zarek envisioned.
So what you want is to lead your people to a better future?
You make it sound so dramatic. For now, the Fire Wielders are a good start. And by helping you, they will hopefully see that diplomacy and strength don't always contradict each other. After that, we shall see.
Don't you think a world without violence is possible?
No.
Why? Isn't that what we should all aspire to?
We should aspire to a lot of things. But tell me, Tahar, this world has existed for millennia. And has there ever been peace? Lasting peace?
At times, yes.
At times, exactly as I said. Our very existence is based on conflict. Finding food, not freezing to death. Living means to struggle. Your people, with your warm clothes and banquets, try all in your power to forget that fact. But you can't, because ultimately, there's as much thirst for struggle in you as in an orc. What we orcs believe is that we should embrace it, that we should just face the truth, even if it's ugly. That the ways of nature can't be changed by its creation. It's like fighting the tides.
So what? Do we just kill each other whenever we feel like it?
No. What we need is a way to channel our urges. Ceremonial battles, arenas. A society that is centered around survival and strength, and gains, rather than loses stability from it. Because if we simply suppress these urges, such as humans, the elves, and the dwarves do, they will at one point only erupt even more violently.
I never looked at it that way. But I think you might be right.
You never fail to surprise, Tahar. Anyway, where were we?
Did you always have these ambitions?
No.
Then where did they come from?
None of your business, Tahar. Sorry.
All right. Well, thanks for explaining.
Sure.
I'll be off. Understood. Got it.
To this day, the Shaper's magical and technological prowess remains
Will do. Now would you look at that?
More pieces. Let me take a look. Tahar, come over here for a second, will you? I finished your weapon. Yeah, do you need something? I'm a tad busy.
Goodbye. Understood. Got it. Understood.
What do you want?
Just checking how you're settling in.
I'm good. Thanks. Interesting place you found yourself here. I'll give you that.
Back in the cave, you told me that you fought that demon in order to gain control over it. I'd still like to know how that works.
It's complicated.
That's it?
For now.
How did you end up in Barga Gora?
It's a long story. Suffice to say, I've been on the road for quite some time now, and Barga Gora just happened to be my last spot before I ran into you. Let's talk about you instead. You've gathered a ton of followers, one outcast after another. Tell me, Tahar, do you trust them?
Of course I do.
Huh. To be honest, I don't understand how you can do it. You have that look about you, and it's driving me nuts.
What do you mean by that?
I've observed you on the way back from Barga Gora. The way you move, the way you talk. I get why other people follow your lead. I really do. You simply have some kind of strange charisma. It's not visible at first glance, but it's there. You give people hope. I guess that's what it boils down to. You attract outsiders, and you get them to march under your banner.
How is that a bad thing?
It's a bad thing because you're too careless. All these people, did it ever occur to you that they're outsiders for a reason? The treacherous orc, the renegade elf, the exiled dwarf? Still, you trust them. Even if you put your stern face on, I can see that you do. And it's why people follow you. But trust doesn't protect from betrayal. But let's stop this right here, okay? I'm sure you have things to do, and so do I.
Will do.